before we move on, I wanna talk for just a minute or two about somebody else who's important to the organization, and I want to kind of clear up any confusion that may reign here about what's happening. So, for 15 years, Jeff Trimble, who's here at the table with us, has served this agency with distinction and success, and no, he's not leaving. So before this sounds like he might want to, we're not letting him. He's been an editorial executive, he's been a manager, he's been a senior official, and Jeff and I have talked both in here and at his home for several hours about each step of the way he's gotten further and further away from his love, which is really journalism and the news. And so as opposed to having him part of this management team here, I think what we've all agreed as a board is to try to find Jeff something where we can use his incredible talents and experience in the organization to help us with the various challenges we have, and at the same time get him back closer to his love of journalism and editorial. And the board continues to discuss various potential roles for Jeff, and I think we will announce something in the coming weeks. But I didn't want there to be ambiguity about Jeff's role. We very much value, Jeff, the tremendous work you've done over the past 15 years. And I think we're trying to find exactly the right place. And I know you've been involved in those discussions, so I wanted to quickly say it publicly so everybody knew it. I don't know, Jeff, if you want to say a couple words.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman, very much. First, my colleagues and I here will take all necessary steps to implement the board's direction and provide all support that we can to Susie and Andre and Rob to get the new team in place as they step into their roles. Thank you also very much for taking into consideration my interest in getting more closely involved in the journalism that's at the core of the mission and the work that we do here at BBG. And finally, I'm really pleased to be handing over the IBB management portfolio just as three, pretty significant, I think, achievements have been announced this week. One is record global audiences for U.S. international broadcasting. The second is a clean financial audit for the agency for FY13. And finally, a modest but nevertheless real improvement in the agency's scores and rankings in the Federal Employee Viewpoint Survey as assessed by the Partnership for Public Service. There's a lot of work still to be done on these issues and many others, but I'd like to thank my colleagues at IBB and the broadcast networks for their support and congratulate all of them on these successes because they're their successes. So thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to the board.
Thanks, Jeff. And I will say, in the private sector, I'm in the media business too, and when you're in the communications and media business, what you really have is your people. And it's true very much so at this organization as well. And I think the board and the organization is very much committed to making this not just a better place to work, but the best place to work, and have employees who are excited to come here every day and believe in the mission and know what they're trying to do and where we're trying to get to. So going from low down in the rankings to low but a little bit better in the rankings is nothing to crow about, and we're not happy at all with where we are, and know we have a lot of work to do, as Jeff said, but at least we're moving a little bit in the right direction. So my commendations to everybody who's worked hard to starting to turn this battleship around a little bit. There's nothing more important to this organization than making it a good place to work for our dedicated people.